Powerful rulers did not fear Avicenna because he was violent. They feared him because he was calm. In a world where power was enforced through fear, punishment, and bloodshed, Avicenna represented something far more dangerous: understanding. He understood how people thought, how they obeyed, how they doubted, and how belief could be shaped. Kings could silence rebels, but they struggled to silence ideas. Avicenna lived in an era where rulers depended on control. Control over land, control over people, and control over truth. Knowledge was supposed to serve power, not challenge it. Scholars were tolerated as long as they stayed within boundaries. But Avicenna never stayed within boundaries. He questioned ideas that rulers relied on to justify their authority, and that alone was enough to make him a threat. He was not just a philosopher locked away in books. He was a physician who treated rulers themselves. He observed them closely, not just their illnesses, but their fears, insecurities, and weaknesses. When a ruler places his life in your hands, you gain access not only to his body, but to his mind. Avicenna saw how fragile power really was behind the throne. Rulers feared Avicenna because he understood that people do not obey because they are forced to. They obey because they believe. Belief is stronger than fear, and belief can be changed. Avicenna's ideas hinted at this uncomfortable truth. A population that thinks deeply becomes harder to control. A mind that questions becomes unpredictable. At times, Avicenna was welcomed in royal courts. At other times, he was expelled, imprisoned, or forced to flee. Not because he committed crimes, but because his presence created unease. His ideas spread quietly. They made people think, and once people start thinking, power becomes unstable. One of the most dangerous things Avicenna did was refuse to simplify truth for authority. He did not reshape his ideas to please rulers. He believed that knowledge had its own structure, independent of power. That belief alone was revolutionary. Many rulers could tolerate ignorance, but not independence of thought. Avicenna understood something rulers feared deeply. Systems survive on repetition. Tradition, rituals, unquestioned laws. But he encouraged understanding instead of repetition. This kind of thinking erodes blind obedience. It teaches people to ask why instead of simply obeying. Even his medical work carried hidden danger. By studying the human body so deeply, Avicenna showed that life followed natural laws, not just divine commands filtered through authority. This shifted power away from rulers and toward reason, and reason cannot be commanded. Rulers also feared Avicenna because he moved freely between disciplines: philosophy, medicine, logic, astronomy. He could not be boxed in. Power relies on predictability. Avicenna was unpredictable. His mind connected ideas across domains, revealing patterns others missed, and patterns expose weaknesses. There were moments when rulers attempted to use Avicenna for their own gain, but even then, they sensed the risk. A man who understands truth cannot be owned forever. Eventually, he will speak it, and truth spoken at the wrong time can destabilize empires. Avicenna's life became a cycle of acceptance and rejection. Celebrated for his brilliance, then feared for the same reason. His exile was not just physical, it was symbolic. Power was pushing knowledge to the margins, hoping it would lose influence. But ideas do not disappear when you exile their creator. What rulers truly feared was not Avicenna himself, but what he represented: a future where authority could be questioned without violence, where power would have to justify itself, where thinking deeply was enough to challenge control. Even today, this fear still exists. Systems still prefer obedience over understanding, memorization over insight, compliance over curiosity. Avicenna's mind remains dangerous because it reminds us that true power begins internally. And that is why powerful rulers feared Avicenna, not because he wanted power, but because he never needed it.